What is going on, guys? Steven here. Welcome to another episode of F1. I've been slacking with this recently purely because I've been trying to get as many videos done as possible before I went away for a week. So I do apologise, but this will be the only F1 video until about the 9th or 10th of September. Hopefully, I'll have a couple of other things up on the channel to keep it ticking over, though, until I return. So hopefully you enjoy this. Our rivalry, of course, is with Nico Rosberg, since how we managed to completely annihilate Jolyon Palmer very early on. This is, I can't even remember where we are, if I'm being honest. I think it's Spain. I think this is the Spanish Grand Prix. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure we'll find out somewhere along the line in the episode. I'm going to try and do this in one take as well, so bear with me. I may lose breath or die. But I remember the practice. I've been on this course before, so I know an awful lot of the turns. That corner right there is a pain in the dick. I cannot do that without overrunning it. I just can't. I can't seem to do it. If I slow down too much, I'll just end up stopping. So there wasn't too much to do in the practice. I forgot completely about the objectives. So it was literally just a case of going round, trying to learn the track a bit. Like I said, I've done it before, so it wasn't a case of me never have been here before, so I had to learn the whole thing. It was just sort of reacquainting myself with the whole situation and learning how to control the car. Beautiful little cinematic there for no reason whatsoever other than the fact that I forgot to put it at the beginning of the video. But we're going to continue as we go into what I believe now is maybe as another practice session or even qualifying for the Spanish Grand Prix. There is a car right out in front of us, and of course it is, I think it's Vettel, which is never a good thing. If you've got Vettel anywhere near you in Formula 1, you are either going to get bumped into, smashed into, or just shot straight up, because Vettel is a thug of epic proportion. So again, my lap started to get a bit tighter going around these corners. I started learning where to brake, how much to brake, and things like that. That corner right there, not the tidiest, but we managed to come around the straight. I think it's one of my best times that I managed to post on the course. So 126, 127, something along those lines. It was a 127, which isn't too bad. It was enough to put us third or fourth on the grid at the time. We slipped down to sixth, I believe that is. And again, just showing you that my cornering is terrible when it comes to that one corner. So I knew that going through to the race was always going to be difficult, especially when you got other cars around you, taking that one wide as well. Just trying to play catch up to my previous lap time, which if you drive around these courses and you can't stay on the track when you're by yourself, you've got no hope in the middle of a race. You really haven't. It's always going to be a struggle, and it was.
With Nico Rosberg alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Raikkonen, Carlos Sainz, and Verstappen, Kvyat, Grosjean, Bottas, and Fernando Alonso, Button, Ricciardo, Sergio Perez, and Renault, Massa, Hülkenberg, Jolyon Palmer, and Esteban Gutierrez, Wehrlein, and Nasser, Marcus Ericsson, and Rio Haryanto completes the grid.
You would have seen where we were on that grid then. I think we're 14th on the grid, right? So not the best of qualifying sessions. I tried my damnedest to try and get higher on the grid, but genuinely just wasn't possible. We've got the cinematics back for this one, so everybody can relax and enjoy the beautiful picturesque scene as we clip one of the cars to our left. It wasn't too bad. It was just a little bump there with Perez. It's always Perez, Vettel, and who's the other one that I always bump into? Maybe sometimes Ricciardo. Oh no, Bottas, that's him. Perez, Bottas, and Vettel are the three that I always seem to smash into. Ones I've never really ever collide with or even come near are Alonso and Grosjean is either easy to pass or just never gets in my way. I don't know what it is, but those two drivers are fantastic to come up against because they either let you past or they're just easy to pass. I'm not quite sure. Ricciardo trying to hold strong there as we close in behind Bottas, but again, Ricciardo closing us out, trying my hardest not to collide with anyone. I'd like a clean run where we don't lose part of our wing or just get smashed to pieces and lose a wheel. Always a problem in F1 for me, getting absolutely obliterated by my opponents. Not taking the racing line there, which if you are familiar with F1 is not a good thing to do. If you don't take the racing line, the game will punish you for it. And by that, I don't mean the cornering or anything. I mean that the AI will literally crash into you. Trying my hardest to keep a decent racing line, but it is very difficult when I'm trying to play catch up to cars in front. And I just tend to try and just sort of, I don't know, push my boundaries, if you will, and then I end up clipping the car in front, or just having to take the corner differently to how the game would like me to take the corner, and then other cars catch up to me, clip me, spin me, etc. We've caught right up to Bottas here, and as we go around the corner in the second lap, I'm awfully close. I have to touch the brakes, even though I really wouldn't have had to if he wasn't in front of me there. So we lose a little bit of ground, but we are still close enough that we can make a challenge maybe to pass him. I think we're up into 9th at the moment, so Bottas obviously a little bit ahead of us, and we have unfortunately done what I was praying that we wouldn't do, really, and that's go straight into the back of Bottas to cause damage to our wing. One of my garage staff, if you will, onto the radio telling me that my wing is slightly damaged, and they're asking me to go into the pit, which on a 5-lap race is so pointless. If I went into the pit, I would finish last because there's just not enough time for me to come back. So we're trying our damnedest now to try and keep chase with Bottas, but more importantly, trying to keep off Grosjean, who is right behind us at this point. And we are kind of holding up the pack here. Grosjean trying to catch us as best he can, but he's holding up about 3 or 4 cars behind him. So we do have a massive trail of cars behind us. There's only 2 there in that shot, but they do end up catching up to us quite a lot here, because obviously we're losing some speed going around these corners. The corner of car has completely gone away because our wing is completely broken. I'm no longer taking a decent racing line. In fact, Grosjean and the car behind has now opened up a gap, incidentally, but I do believe that that gap is closed. We are a lap, or 2 laps, sorry, away from the end of this. We are trying to catch Bottas still, even though they've told me to take it easy on the car and to sort of not push it. I have to, because if I don't push it, I'm going to get overtaken by Grosjean, who's just behind. The chasing pack again now are chasing down the 2 that are just behind me, because like I said, I'm losing speed and I cannot keep up with the... Look at the gap between us and Bottas in front now. We were almost, well, we were neck and neck at one point because I smashed into the back of him, but we're losing so much speed. As you can see on the little radar in the bottom left hand corner, the mini map, if you will, there's a lot of cars behind us, and we're going to have to do an awful lot as we go around the last 2 corners to try and catch Bottas. We've actually managed to close the gap quite a lot. Can we overtake Bottas right at the end? No, it's literally a whisker in it. It wasn't an awful lot going forward. I had the last lap was the lap of my life. I did really, really well. Finished 9th in that Grand Prix. Maybe could have showed you a few more highlights going forward, but my bad, my mistake, I do apologise. Finished 9th though, well ahead of Grosjean and just behind Bottas and Kvyat and Verstappen as well. All 3 of those cars just in front, so we could have very much have overtaken should we have had maybe a better second to last lap. That would have been good. Rosberg obviously goes on to win the Grand Prix as far as I remember, so he obviously goes even further in front of us now. 7 points adrift we are of our rival Rosberg. I still find it stupid that they've given us Rosberg as our rival, to be fair. We're never going to be as good as him in a Renault that doesn't get enough research and development, R&D points. It's my fault in a way for not doing the R&D in practice. I really should be doing the objectives to try and get more points to improve the car, but I forget. I just forget, and I just go out and try and learn the track, and I really do need to remember. Hopefully that should whet your appetite ready for the next race in the Grand Prix, which I will record as soon as I return from the land of Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know by hitting that like button and leaving me a comment down below. And until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.